Hey everybody, it's Matt from the house, and I'm here with Jayson from Burton, and he's going to give us a little sneak peek and kind of show us a few of the new products that Burton's going to have for the 21-22 season. Let's check this stuff out. All right, so Jayson, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, good seeing you too.
It's been a little bit.
I know.
So been getting on riding a lot?
Yeah, actually had a pretty good year.
Sick.
With riding, so.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. We didn't know any of this was going to happen, and we didn't think we were going to get to ride at all, and we've actually been able to, I've got to ride.
Yeah, we've gotten lucky here.
Yeah, I've been actually able to ride more this year than I did last year, so I'm actually pretty pumped on it.
Yeah.
So, lineup, looking amazing as it is every single year. So, yeah, we've got obviously everything from park boards all the way up to some of the free ride series and everywhere in between. So I want to start with the Hometown Hero because I think this thing is super, super dope. And we've actually been getting a little more of a sneak peek of this online, haven't we?
Yeah, that's kind of when we were talking about what we wanted to kind of feature. It was just like, all right, what's been most visible that people have been seeing already? So
that's been most visible.
Hometown Hero, part of the family tree line, probably the best all-around, all-mountain board out of there. But that's what a lot of the team is riding at Natural Selection. That's what Mark is riding, you know, that he won with, and it is definitely the best all-around, all-mountain board.
It's pretty rad too. It's funny seeing this thing. You think it's just a black top sheet, but it actually has a little bit of a wood grain to it, which obviously doesn't make your board ride better, but makes it look better too.
Super clean graphics this year. You got the little peace sign down the middle, wood grain, but yeah, Hometown Hero, really easy foot steer because of the different glassing between the feet. Little bit of taper in the front, but past the upturn. So when you're on hard pack, it's going to ride switch, the same as it's going to ride, you know, normal. But once you get into that deeper snow, you got that longer nose.
Yeah, because the setback on this thing, it's not much at all, 1.57 inches. So you can move your bindings forward on this, and it's going to feel more like a twin tip, right?
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But you'd still, you know, I'd still recommend going equally from the reference out, just so you're, you know, not too far forward. But yeah, that board's sick.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one of those boards that feels like you've been riding it for years every time you jump on it. So
you can never argue with that.
That's right.
It's cool. So then from there, I guess we kind of stick a little bit in kind of like the all mountain, and we can't pass up the custom for sure. Like how many years has the custom been out now?
Was it 96? I think the first year.
Has snowboarding even been around that long?
Yeah.
Just kidding. But yeah, every year this thing, I mean, honestly, the Flying V version of this, one of my favorite boards of all time, and this comes in camber and it comes in Flying V, so. And
I'm on the camber side of things.
Hey, that's why they make both.
Yeah, this is the most developed prototype board in snowboarding. So they've had like over 1,100 prototypes of this board, but if somebody wants one board that does everything well, this is definitely it. So it's not tapered, still pretty aggressive flex on it, but nothing too crazy stiff, but just a little taller nose than the tail. So ride switch, you see a lot of guys riding this thing, the park pipe. You know, Mikhail's been riding the 170 wide. You know, he rode that in the Natural Selection.
That's a beast.
Super clean graphics on it this year. Just nice matte white with a little bit of wood grain fade through the middle, kind of like a surfboard would be.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, just super clean.
Nice big bright yellow base too. So I always say the custom is that one board that nobody hates.
Yep.
Like, it might not be your favorite board, but if you get out and ride it, you're gonna like it.
Yep.
You're gonna have a good time on it too.
Yep.
So then from there, let's go kind of we're still, you know, in that kind of all mountain, but we're kind of mixing it up a little bit. We got two boards that are similar, but they're completely different at the same time.
Yeah, so Danny's boards, you got the Thinkers. So you got the Deep Thinker, which is definitely the more all-mountain kind of free ride model, which is tapered, about 12 millimeters, or 7 millimeters, sorry. But balanced free ride again, past that upturn. So still ride switch really well, but you got that longer, wider nose to give you a little bit more float.
Yeah, when this thing came out too, Danny was riding that thing in the pipe.
Oh yeah, doing like
switch methods.
Yeah, switch methods, like 15 feet out, whatever. Yeah, like, but the graphics on them are really killer again. So Scott,
so good.
So Scott Lenhart, who did the ones from the 21 boards, he worked with Danny on these again too. So
cool. And then if you like to mob the park a little bit more, you can still ride a similar board.
Yep. So you go to the Freethinker, which is like more aggressive, true twin, snappy. Ride. So a lot of guys on the team that ride, you know, slope style, they want, you know, that extra pop off of big jumps, you know, that sort of thing. That's kind of where the Freethinker comes in. So a little deeper side cut than like what a custom would have, so it's gonna definitely carve a little quicker, but a little snappier. But as far as the construction level, you know, we're kind of talking about the same as what a custom would be. Carbon highlights, center WFO, a little higher end construction.
Carbon highlights are the truth.
Yes.
Don't forget it. Cool. Well, then going from there, how about we go to another board that we've been seeing all over the place?
Yeah, so a lot of the girls team, they've been crushing it a lot lately. You know, Zoe's been, she just won world champs on this. Crushes it in slope style, but this is like Anna Gasser, a lot of the girls on the team, this is their kind of board of choice. Yeah. It's a true twin, full camber, you know, Tri-X glass, you know, center base, that whole thing. So you got the Talent Scout. So pretty cool. Worked with Sophie Hollington as an artist that did the graphics on this, and you'll see some bindings that'll match up well with it. There's actually some, you know, in the Anon line, there's a helmet and a goggle that will match with it too. So.
So that's fully kitted head to toe.
Yeah. So, but you know, killer, true twin, full cambered. You know, kind of well, true twin works great everywhere, but you know, kind of more park.
Yeah, and you see like a lot of the girls riding slope style on this board too. Like in X Games, they were, you know, this you saw this base all over the place.
X Games, big air, just definitely a killer model there for the ladies.
Cool. And then one of my favorite boards that I'm super pumped on this year, the Blossom.
Yeah, so definitely a team-driven thing here. So Neil Shack is one of our riders out of Canada. He's the one that actually did all the graphics on it. So just the idea behind Blossom is like, yes, we wanted to make a more freestyle focused park board, but not, you know, the guys coming up, it's not all about skulls and, you know,
yeah, exactly,
things that look cool and, you know, KA and all that, you know, it's like they want something it's more about positivity and vibrant colors, and they wanted to let the art do more of the kind of, I should say, speaking of the board. You know, there's a lot of crazy new shapes and stuff like that out there. They just wanted to go back to something a little bit more traditional, kind of more popsicle shape, but have a little bit more kind of an artsy feel to it. So a lot of the guys on the team been riding this board. Like, you know, we just, you know, Zeb just signed to the team for Hardgoods, and he's been running this. So, but we kept just kind of talking to him to the team, like, okay, what did they want? What they want? And the custom twin kept bubbling up to the top. This is an old school pop, or not old school, but it's a custom twin shape.
Sick.
So the Tri-X glass, carbon tip to tail, center WFO base, kind of replaces the Paramount in the line, so kind of that mid $500 price point.
So this one's doing carbon along the board.
The stringers to the
highlights. Sick. Yep. So a little softer torsionally, nice and smoother, but you still get that ultra zing and pop to it.
Yep. So not a ton of carbon, so still has a damp feel to it, but so. I mean, it's a custom twin. Rides awesome.
And that's a board that we always get tons of questions about. Like, even if it's limited edition or not, it's always been the board that's kind of lurking in the background, and it's always kind of been there. But now you can obviously have just a standard version in the line, and definitely a really cool graphic. It reminds me of like the old Burton boards too, kind of that retro graphic as well, which is, I'm dating myself right now, but. If you can't date yourself, who can you date?
Yeah. Hey.
Cool. All right. So for bindings, obviously Burt's got a pretty rad line of bindings. It's not huge, and it's basically got all the bindings you need and nothing extra, which is really rad. You can basically say, this is my riding style. Boom, here's your bindings. And you know, obviously the Cartel. I mean, how long has the Cartel been in the line? Has it been in there as long as the custom?
No, not quite.
Not quite. Getting there.
pretty close, but yeah, it's we've definitely just kind of restructured the line a little bit. We've actually split the Cartel into two different models. We started that in 21. So basically wanted to just give the riders kind of a choice. We got a couple different price points, you know, between Cartel and Cartel X, but also there's definitely just more performance differences too.
Yeah. So the Cartel, we've got, it's a little softer base plate.
Yep. So you go to a 30% glass nylon tray. Yep. It does have the hammock strap 2.0, so same actually on both of them. But then when you go, basically the differences are, you go to a 45% glass
So a
on the
little
Cartel
quicker
X.
reacting.
Yep. It's different, kind of like that same response as carbon, just without the price tag. So if you like a stiff, responsive binding, go Cartel X.
Perfect.
Also, the big thing, you go to Cartel X, you get the new heel hammock in there.
That thing is super
So
cool.
that just death grips the back of your boot. So you're, what's nice is it holds the heel in, then you have to crank your straps down as tight. But regular Cartel, you kind of lose that. You go to dual component buckles here, so you got the nylon teeth right there. So just a little smoother, they last longer. So if you have nylon and nylon, it just wears better. And then you got the rubber overlay in the toe cap, and then also gel in the heel.
Cool. So there's a little
softer.
Bit of upgrade.
It's like, yes, in this case, you go from Cartel to Cartel X. It's stiffer, but you're also getting more comfort features and little things like that.
Perfect. So, and then in the women's line, you can basically get kind of a similar story, but we've got the Lexa and we've got the Lexa X.
Yeah. So with the women's bindings, it's not necessarily stiffer. So the X, I guess we're just saying there's just a few extra stuff in there. So you go to Lexa X, the base plates are the same stiffness. Again, available in both Reflex and EST, but with the X, you get that hammock in the heel, you get the gel in the footbed. You also get the ASIM hammock straps with the double take buckles that are a little bit smoother.
Perfect.
So just a little bit more comfy features. Again, the rubber overlay in the toe strap. But as far as stiffness, they're about the same. You just get better comfort features and a little bit different flexing strap there.
Spend more, get more. Yes. So, and for all those people, it's pretty easy to kind of figure out between the two bindings. It's basically, if you want that easier, smoother feel, you're probably going to go with the Lexa or the Cartel. If you want a little bit quicker, snappier ride, you're probably going to go with the X in either version too. So, definitely, one of the biggest stories, one of the biggest questions that we're getting to is on these bindings between the regular and the X, and it's definitely a good addition to the line.
Yeah, we kind of shook things up last year by separating the two and making two different models. So it's kind of like, all right, we need to. Obviously, we did it for a reason because there was needs for it out there, and we still have a lot of other bindings in the line, but we just wanted to create some clarity there. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, and now for boots. Obviously Burton's been doing boots just as long as they've pretty much been doing everything else as well. So boot line is definitely solid every single year, but we definitely got a few new things for this year. So in the men's line, we definitely, the Photon, this boot has been, this is #1 selling boot, or
it's been one
pretty
of our,
close.
Yeah.
I mean, for higher end boots, it's probably one of the #1 selling boots. So the cool thing this year is that we actually have, obviously, the BOA version, which has been out for
since the Photon. The Photon has always been BOA.
Yeah, but how long's it been out now? Like 6, 7 years?
God, we were just talking about that.
It's so hard to date that. Yeah.
But it's like you think, oh, it's been 4 years, and all of a sudden it's like you look back, it's like looking at your Facebook thing, you're like, oh, geez, that was 8 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So, but with that success, now for this year we have a Speed Zone version.
Yeah. So, so there was the Photon and the Imperial. One was in the past, one was the BOA version, the other was the Speed Zone. So basically just wanted to revamp the best seller and kind of combine the two. So essentially what you have is the same fit as the Imperial. So a little bit wider toe box than what the Photon had in the past. We've got the S4 panel here, so the strap sits on there and it keeps it from breaking down.
Oh, sick.
It relieves the pressure of the strap.
Perfect.
Still has the same imprint 3 liner, which is got really good footbeds, good moisture wicking material and all that. But you've got a Speed Zone version and a BOA version. There's a new Vibram outsole. It's got our traction lug technology where once we get up a little bit closer on the leading edge on the toe there's actually treads on the sides of the lug.
Oh, wow.
So in slough and everything like that, it's supposed to provide about 20-25% more traction without losing board feel and crazy deep treads and things like that. So that's a new sole that we've been working with Vibram on. So basically just so if people are that are kind of like, oh man, I always like those Imperials. This is the same ride as the Imperial.
Don't worry, it's not gone.
You have either BOA or Speed Zone. So
it's not gone, it's just better.
Yes, it's just different.
And then in the women's lineup, we got a couple upgrades on a few boots.
Yeah, a couple of our best sellers just went through and kind of restyled them. Kind of reminds us of the kind of 90s kind of boot line with a little bit of the paneling there, but did a really good job with it. So
looks like a skate shoe almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Limelight is definitely got an upgrade. We added double BOA to the Limelight.
Oh. It's funny, I knew there was a Limelight BOA, but I completely forgot it was just a single BOA.
So now we got double, so you still have the rubber in the toe and the heel, still our imprint 2 liner, a little different cuff on there, but restyled, looks really good.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the Felix, which would be like the women's counterpart to like the Photon, totally restyled that one as well. So we've got the new Vibram traction lug outsole on here.
Same sole on that one.
First time we've actually put a Vibram outsole in a women's boot.
Oh, really?
So, but double BOA, women's specific, imprint 3 liner with the flex panels and all that. And again, I definitely think restyled a lot better for
definitely a super good looking boot.
Yeah, so those are kind of like the standouts, of the boot line for 22. So.
Sick. All right, cool. Well, Jayson, thanks again, man. We got a little sneak peek. Obviously, this is just a little bit of what's in the line. There's a lot more boards, boots, and bindings, and
just a taste.
Just a little taste, and you'll be able to see all that stuff at thehouse.com very, very soon. So keep checking. We'll have some links in the descriptions too. So if we actually do have it, you can just click and find out what's new and what's in stock already. If you got any questions about this stuff or any of the other stuff at thehouse.com, leave us some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we get you into the best gear possible for you and your riding style. Like, subscribe, get that bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos are dropping. And no matter what you're riding, where you're riding, or how you're riding, definitely get out and ride, because any day riding is a good day riding. Audrey!
Oh no, wrong cow.
Oh no,
wrong cow.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.